Hey Euros, Super Duper Chris here. Thank you for joining me on All These Things TV. If this is your first time, welcome. And if it's not, hey girlfriend, it's good to see you again. If this is your first time and you like what you see, please be sure to hit the subscribe button over here. I'd really appreciate it. So today, I am coming to y'all with a sit down video, clearly, with my pregnancy update, week 29 and week 30. Now I am about 4 days behind on this video. To make a long story short, I've just been tired. I'm tired. And I think I made a status on Facebook the other day and I said, like, bro, I feel like I'm in my first trimester all over again. I am exhausted. It's very sad. I'm excited to share week 29 and week 30 with you guys. We are in the third trimester. I think we switched over into third trimester in week 28. So now we are somewhat deep in the third trimester. We are in the 30s. So the end of the tunnel, we can see it. It's just right there. So I'm really excited to see this sweet little baby boy and to just be a mom of two. I keep hearing scary stories about, we went out to dinner for my husband's birthday. His birthday was on April Fool's Day. And we went out to dinner and we were talking to an older, they were double dating, and we were talking to an older couple of couples. They were like, I thought I was in shock when I had my first one, but I literally felt the same shock when I had my first one compared to having my second one. I was like, well, thank you. You get used to one way of life and then it switches up on you completely again. So, I mean, with that being said, I can take it as wisdom and also a grain of salt, because in all actuality, I've been used to this way of life for almost 4 years now. So now I'm settled in this way of life in terms of being a mom of one and everything. So now I'm going to shift, my life's going to shift all over again to be a mom of two, and maintaining and making sure that both of them feel loved and cared for and paid attention to. And so if you have any advice for me, please let me know. I would love any advice. If you're a mom of multiples, let me know what's up, because bruh, the anxiety is starting to settle in. Let's go ahead and get into these updates. I can talk about my symptoms, my thoughts, and kind of what I'm feeling and all that fun stuff. All right, let me situate my life here right quick. I tend to not do that these days. My life is very scattered because my brain, oh my God, let me tell y'all this story before I get into this. So we went to a dinner with some friends from church. They invited us over to their house, and we had been talking about it for like a week. We didn't know whose house we were supposed to go to. So I read this text message. I looked at the most recent text message and I was like, oh my God, I think they're supposed to be coming to our house. I haven't made no dinner. I've been running around. I had the car that day. I've been running around all day. I'm like, let's go to like Chick-fil-A or something in the middle. In Kansas City, you can be in two different states. Basically, you have Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri, because it's the city splits between two states, and that's a whole debate that we're not going to get into today. They live on the Kansas side and we live on the Missouri side. And I was like, okay, well, let's meet in the middle. Let's go to a Chick-fil-A in the middle of where we are. And they sent a text message back and was like, we made dinner for you guys. I thought that you guys said you were going to come to us. So I looked back through the text messages, and bro, I read my text message that said that my family was going to their house. And I thought that it was them sending it to me like, we can come to you. And I'm like, oh my God, they're coming to my house. But I was literally reading my own text message. Like, why? Why is this my life? So my mind is legit in pregnancy brain shambles. It's fun. I'm so excited to talk to you guys because it's been so long since I did a sit down video, because I'm tired. I'm probably gonna take a nap after I eat, after I film this. Week 29. Baby is as big as an acorn squash. There we go. Baby is getting a little cramped in there, given how fast he or she is growing. But you probably already realized that since you're feeling all those kicks and jabs. Baby is growing white fat deposits under his skin, and his or her energy is surging because of it, which is why I don't have any. Baby already measures about 15.2 to 16.17 inches long, and right now, baby weighs 2.5 to 3.8 pounds, but still has a way to go. Week 29, I've been mentioning that my, sciatic and my hip pain has been a thing in the past couple of updates, but I feel like now that the baby's gaining weight and I can feel the actual weight in the front part of my body. The hip pain has gotten a little bit more intense. I've also noticed that if I do too much of one thing, and that could be anything, if I do too much of one thing, I will start getting pain in my back and in my ribs. So if I sit down for too long, I'll be hurting. If I stand up for too long, I'll be hurting. I can't win for losing. So we have the hip pain going on, and now I'm finding it very difficult to sleep, because when you sleep, you laying down for some hours, and if I'm uncomfortable doing too much of anything, I get uncomfortable laying down too. Like, especially when I wake up in the morning, like, when you kind of stiff when you wake up, and you got to rotate and make sure that your body's starting to function, the blood start flowing and whatnot. I'm crippling out of the bed. Like, I've noticed in the past couple of weeks that Fago has had to, like, if we're watching TV together or something and I'm laying on him, he has to, like, push me. So, because I don't have much control in my stomach muscles anymore, so they have to push me so that I can sit up. Or I'll have to, if I get out the bed, I'll have to lean on him or push the bed. And then when I get out of the bed, because my legs and my hips and my joints have been stiff for so long, I'm like hobbling out of the bed. And then doing too much of anything is not good. So I have to constantly shift myself around, like, okay, let me sit down. I just got done straightening up the kitchen, Let me sit down for a minute and do something on the computer. Okay, now I'm done with the computer. Okay, let me go clean out Cadence's toy box. Or, I have to find something to do. Even when I don't necessarily have things to do, I can't, unless I want to be stiff when I get up. So if I decide that I want to be stiff and I want to sit and, read a book for an hour and then get on the computer right after I read the book, then I expect that when I get up, I'm be hobbling. And I think that just comes with where I am in the pregnancy, and that's not gonna get no better, especially as the baby keeps growing. So now my belly is starting to come out, if that makes sense. So it's not round anymore. It's kind of starting to point. Maybe I'm just tripping out, and it's pointing downward, if you get what I'm saying. So now that I am a little bit further, and the belly is something that I definitely can't get away from, I'm learning that I can't do everything that I was doing in my second trimester. For example, I cannot grocery shop by myself. On week 29, me and Cadence went grocery shopping. We try and avoid faucet water as much as we can. That's just how we live. We get jugs of water, and then we get cases of water to drink. And I lifted the case, put it in the basket, put the case in the car, and drove home. And then, along with the other groceries, mind you. And the last moment that I put the case of water into the house, and I sat down for like 5 minutes, and I had a really, really sharp pain in the bottom half of my belly, and like it hurt. I couldn't stretch. It hurt to stretch it out, and it scared me, and it wasn't like a minor little tightness, the Braxton Hicks contraction. It was like, you're straining yourself. Don't do it again. So I went and picked Fago up from work that day, and I was like, babe, I can't go grocery shopping by myself anymore. Either you gonna have to go and I give you the list, or we gonna have to go together, because there's things I can't lift anymore. There's things I can't pick up anymore. That was scary to me, because I didn't feel that with Cadence, and that's maybe because I didn't have a 2-year-old and things that I needed to do as much, as I do this time. So I'm trying to do everything, by myself, just waddling around, trying to take care of stuff. And now my body is like, okay, yeah, you did that all second trimester. You've waddled enough. Get your itch together, and we finna have this baby, so I need you to sit down somewhere. They also say in the third trimester that you have a lot of crazy dreams. And I definitely have had some. I can't remember any dreams from week 29, but I just had a dream last night. And these dreams, mind you, have been happening for the past 2 or 3 weeks, so which is why I think this dream is still valid. I had a dream that, for some reason, the R&B singer Tank and my husband became one person. And so that was my husband. It was a blend of my husband and Tank. It was a nice blend there. But he was my husband, and he was like, babe, we got to go somewhere. We got to do this, this, and this. And he ended up taking me to a surprise baby shower of mine that my parents had put together. And it came out perfect, and I was crying, and blah, blah, blah. And it was just like super crazy to me. It felt like a crazy dream. And like, the dreams are more and more crazy, but I should probably write them down, because I'll dream them and then I'll forget them, because they're so crazy. I'm like, ugh, I won't experience that again. So I remember I had a couple of third trimester dreams with Cadence. I had a dream that there was a spider inside of in there with Cadence because her little fingers kept rubbing against my stomach. So I was like, oh my God, there's a spider in there with her. She can't fight it, blah, blah, blah. I was tripping. And I had a dream that I had a baby doll, and the baby doll turned into a baby boy. And then the baby boy grew, like, from my hands into a person with dreads. Like, I had crazy dreams with Cadence. And that was only because I wrote them down. And that's the only reason why I remember them. So, yeah, that was week 29. So let's go ahead and get into week 30 and talk about stats and all that fun stuff. That was a lot that happened that week, dog. Oh, shoot. Week 30. Baby is the size of a zucchini. Baby's skin is getting smoother, but baby's brain is getting wrinklier. To make way for all that essential brain tissue, baby is now strong enough to grasp a finger. Your 5.2 to 16.7 inch, 2.5 to 3 pound baby continues to grow. Week 30 was the shortness of breath week. Baby is so big now that he's pressing up against my lungs. I don't know, I'm hoping that he's already downward. It's possible that he might not be, but they don't check to see if he's downward till I'm like 35 weeks. So I'm hoping that he's already rotated head down, but I feel like this is like butt, like there's a butt right underneath my little bra line here, and just a butt, just a little butt, or like a leg or something. And sometimes it gets really high to where I'll just be sitting on the couch and I'll be like, and like I'm legit out of breath. Like I don't understand why it feels like I've ran a marathon and I literally haven't done anything. I'm sitting there on the computer. Like I might have scrolled past a couple pictures on Facebook and I'm just, because he's pressing on my lungs. So one cool thing that I felt this, I don't know why it took me so long to identify that this was happening, but this past week, week 30 was the first time I felt him moving in two spots at the same time. I thought that was just the coolest thing to feel. It just lets me know that he's getting so big because I can feel him moving and rotating at the top part. You know, that makes me feel like he's already head down, like he's shifting. His little back or his little booty is shifting. And then towards the bottom of my belly, I'll feel twitches, like it'll be his arms or his fingers. And it's really cool because I feel them both at the same time. And it's like he's trying to get himself comfortable too, just like I am. So we both sitting, you know, just sitting uncomfortable. He trying to get comfortable. I'm trying to get comfortable because he's making me uncomfortable. So we just sitting here trying to figure it out. But that's one thing I've experienced in week 30, and that's been really, really cool to feel. And to remember that he's, you know, not this little bitty thing that I was hoping would have a belly now. He's like filling up all the space, and he's going to get bigger and bigger. And it just, feeling him in different spots at the same time just makes me realize that he's not, you know, he's not the little line on the pregnancy stick anymore. You know, it's really cool. I have officially started my every 2-week appointments at the OB, and I regret doing this now, but now I'm so far along that it would be silly for me to go and find another OB. But my hospital is like 30 minutes. My hospital is 30 minutes away from where I live, but I like the doctor. I like what I've seen of the hospital. I took a virtual tour. I like the hospital, and I really like my doctor. I thought it was really cool that she was pregnant while she was seeing me while I was pregnant. She had her baby when I was about 6 months. I just feel like she's gonna have extra care because she knows exactly what we're going through. She's in that phase of having kids. It just makes me feel more comfortable. One, I'm praying that my body does what it needs to do naturally, because the last time I had to be induced and it was not okay. If you want to hear about my labor and delivery story, I have it up here somewhere. It was not good. So one, I'm praying that my body does what it's supposed to do in terms of getting this baby out of me, you know. So I'm hoping that my cervix thins out. I'm hoping that I start dilating. I'm hoping that my body does everything that it needs to do, especially because it's somewhat been through it before. I just pray that it does it on its own, one. And then two, I pray that when it starts happening, that I can get to the hospital quickly, because I don't know what real contractions feel like without being medicated, because I was induced. So I didn't feel a lot of contractions with Cadence. I didn't feel a lot of contractions. And it's not saying that I'm scared to have them. I would just much rather be closer to where I can get some help if I want to get medicated for them, that I can. But in my heart's heart, I really want to have this be as natural as possible. I need to start looking into a birth plan. I would love if you guys would like to see it. I can make mine and then go over it with you guys so that you guys can critique me on what you guys think the birth plan should be like, and then I can get some tips, because I didn't really make one with Cadence and I want to make one, but I want to get like some advice on it. So I'm reading articles and all that fun stuff about creating a birth plan. Back to week 30, because that was an entire tangent that we went on there. One thing that I have been craving, and I think I said this in another update, is lots of carbs. We go to IHOP once every week. We either go to IHOP or we go to Denny's, because Saturday is when we spend time together and we go to breakfast together. And that's just a thing we do at our home. I've never been a really carby person. I don't like cakes. I don't like cookies for real, unless they're Thin Mints. But I don't like, spongy cakes. I just don't like cakey things. And last weekend I got me some strawberry cheesecake pancakes at IHOP, and I got a whole combo. You know how you can get pancakes and eggs, blah, blah, blah. So I got the whole combo. Bro, I ate all of those pancakes. I never eat all the pancakes ever in life, but I smashed the whole 2 strawberry cheesecake pancakes at IHOP. And I was like, oh my God, this is happening. This is why I'm going to gain 15,000 pounds. But it felt really good when I was eating it. And like, I had a Pop-Tart today. Like, that's stuff that I don't eat, but I just want carbs. And like, I'm just craving carbs a whole lot, especially towards the end here. And it might be because, I don't know, I'm craving energy because he's sucking all the energy out of me. But at home, I don't eat all that carby stuff. I eat lots of yogurt and lots of lean stuff. I don't eat a lot of carby stuff. I eat a lot of lean protein and whatnot. I don't realize that I want them until I bite them, and I'm like, oh my God, these are so good. What is going on? And it just happens. Other than that, that is pretty much my update for week 29 and 30. I hope you guys enjoy my pregnancy updates, because I do enjoy sharing my process with you guys. Thank you guys for joining me on today. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.